Hello everyone, my name is Joshua and I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of Coffee, Cats, and King, where we will discuss books, both new and old. I will share with you pictures of my cats that will make you wish they were your cats, and I will drink enough coffee for me and everybody watching. So today, I'm here with a January TBR, and this is something new for me. Normally, when I finish a book, I just go in there to my bookshelves, grab something, see how it goes. But for the sake of continuity, for the sake of these videos, I'm going to try this out, try picking out my books beforehand. It's completely new to me, but we'll give it a shot. So I have picked 9 books, 9 physical books, and then 3 Kindle books. I think it's a good start for the year. So let me show you what I got. First up will actually be one of the Kindles. That is Gord Rollo's Valley of the Scarecrow. And I'll put that up here. I've wanted to read this one for a while. Of course, I'm a big horror fan, but I really like harvest horror, horror about scarecrows, about the autumnal time of the year. So I'm hoping that's what this is. I don't know. I've read one of the book by Gord Rollo that was Jigsaw Man, which is a pretty zany, crazy, enjoyable horror read. I'm hoping it's something, along those lines. So we'll see how it goes. Next up is one that one of the cats picked out for me, and I say that because of the nice chew marks there on the edge. And this is Christina Henry's The Mermaid. My wife has actually already read this. I purchased it from me, but she's already read it. She beat me to it. And as I said, one of the cats did as well. But I thought it was time to give it a read. Christina Henry writes some killer stuff. She takes all the old fairy tales and makes them her own. She's done some great stuff in the past with Red Riding Hood and things like that. So this is obviously her take on, the Little Mermaid tale. So we'll see how it goes. It's got a neat cover. Should be a fairly quick read. Yeah. Next up, I have one that I was gifted for Christmas by my wife's stepfather. So thank you, Jason, if you see this. This is Asylum by Madeline Rowe. And I know this is a popular one on here. A lot of people like her stuff. This cover definitely gave me the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children kind of vibe. But I love the cover. And it looks like there's, all kinds of artwork and notes and details inside. So I'm really excited about this one. It's been on my book list for a very long time. I love creepy children. I love asylum and haunted houses and haunted buildings, so looking forward to that one. Okay, next up is one that I talked about in my first video in my book haul, and I told you that I was going to try and get to it first thing in January, and I still plan on getting to it in January. That is Michael J. Fox's Lucky Man, a memoir. And like I said, I talked about this. He's an awesome dude. When you listen to him talk about books and talk about literature, he just has such a passion to him. It made me really excited to read one of his memoirs, and I got a copy of it in that book haul. So I'm really excited to pick it up and just hear his voice through those pages. Okay, next up is one of my Kindle reads that I intend to get to. That is Carrie Laban's A Hawk in the Woods. And this one I got through a bundle, through a Kindle book bundle, and it really intrigued me. Seemed like it was going to have a sort of cosmic horror feel to it. It's about 2 twins. One is breaking the other out of prison so they can go to their ancestral home and do some sort of ritual to try and save the other sister from cancer. Aside from all that, just gonna throw it out there. The family might be into some kind of magic, some old magic, some dangerous magic. So, sounded interesting. I'm gonna give it a shot. Never read anything by her, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, next up is a science fiction, and this is M.F. Busby's The Breeds of Man. I have not heard this book talked about a lot, but I picked a copy up off of eBay not too long ago, and I was pretty excited about it. This is actually in a world where the AIDS epidemic really went out of control, and so to the point where humanity, their only solution was to create a new breed of man who was immune to it. And by making them immune to it, he is also immune to all other diseases. He is nearly impervious to damage. He's essentially a superhuman. And so this is the story of just that, of these new individuals and their place in society. And I'm pretty excited about it. I haven't heard it talked about before, but yeah, I'm definitely excited to give it a read. This is another one that I talked about in my book haul that I was really excited about, and that's David Martin's Bring Me Children. I'm not going to dwell on it because I talked about it a little there, but it's just, again, it's supposed to be a really crazy read. It's supposed to be really out there and just kind of messed up, and I don't know, I'm excited. I'm excited. I get excited about things like that. Probably shouldn't, but I do. So, all right. Moving on to another science fiction. This one is a little bigger. Nothing too crazy, but about 430 pages or so. This is a really well-known science fiction book. This is John Steakley's Armor. Cool cover. Meaning to read this one for a long time. I know you've heard me say that a couple times already, but it's true. I've been meaning to read it for a long time. I've heard really good things about it. It's supposed to be just a classic military science fiction, really well known, and finally got myself a copy, a really nice copy. Excited to see what it's all about. Okay, now delving into some horror. I've got this this copy of James A. Moore's Deeper with what I think is a pretty cool cover. I love that face in the waves. Really cool stuff. This is, just what it seems like. Diving expedition. They uncover something that they clearly shouldn't have, and goes from there. Don't know a lot about it. I've read a couple things by James Moore. He's an okay horror author, but I love that cover. I wanted to give that a read and give him another chance, so we'll see how it goes. I got a couple more here. The last ebook that I plan on reading is Marie Silk's Davenport House, which is most definitely not a normal kind of read for me. This is actually a family drama set in, I believe, the early 1900s, something like 1910, 1920. And it is about the Davenports and their servants and just life during that time. Like I said, it's a family drama, so there's love, there's loss, and it's historical. None of those things are anything that I normally gravitate towards, but for some reason I liked the cover and I liked the idea of it. And again, this is the year that I am branching out, that I'm trying new things. If you watched my Best of 2020, there were a couple books on there that I said I would not normally pick up, but I did, and I love them, and they ended up on my Best of. So, who's to say that Davenport House won't do the same? Gonna give it a shot there. And I'm gonna get some coffee. Alright, check out my very autumnal mug here. I love this thing. Found it at a thrift store, Salvation Army, for 45 cents or something. Alright, here we go. This is one that a lot of you should know, and if you don't, then shame on you. This is Neil Gaiman's Fragile Things. which is one of his short story collections. If you have not read anything by this man, what are you doing with your life? Take a sick day off work, pick up a copy of anything by Mr. Neil Gaiman and read it, please. I've actually read that before, back in 2012, 2011, something like that. But I finally just got myself another copy, and I'm really excited to delve back into it. I feel like it's going to be one of those, where it was a memorable read, but I can't currently remember. Then I'm going to start reading it and be like, oh yeah, right, this is this story that I love so much, and this is this one. So really excited to read something by Mr. Neil Gaiman again. Moving on, I'm going to try and get through this because my battery is dying. Alright, yeah, so camera did die and probably going to die again, so I'm going to wrap this up real quickly. Last one that I plan to get to is Stephen King's Nightmares and Dreamscapes. Not much to say. The guy's name is in my channel, so I like him, I'm going to enjoy the book. Aside from that, I have one very quick review for a book that I've already read and really wish that I didn't spend the time on. That is The Resurrectionist by Jack O'Connell. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I will say that in the first 80 pages, there is the major abuse of a person referred to as a dwarf, the major abuse of a person referred to as a hermaphrodite, some really terrible things said about transvestites as a general whole, for that matter, and a man beats up his wife because he does not like the way that she grieves their son. Plenty of other examples, but you get the idea. There's horror for the sake of horror, and then there's horror for the sake of shock. And that's shock. I don't care for it. I don't like it. I don't want it. Done with it. So, that's going to wrap things up for today. That's my January TBR. Please, down below, comments, questions, concerns. Which books do you want me to get to first? Which ones are you curious about? Have you read any of them? Let me know. Havoc, where are you, buddy? Goober? Where are you?
Havoc?
Where's my Goober? Where's my Goober? Where are you? I think he's lost.
Havoc?
I don't think we're gonna see him again. What do you think, Chaos? There he is. All right. Good boy.
I thought I lost you forever. Chaos wasn't one.
And thank you for joining me for Coffee, Cats, and King. Cheers.